welcome to your 5-minute flow. Today we're going to do some quick, easy kind of waking up stretches, movements, just to get things a little bit unstuck. And these are things that are going to be grounded poses, so we're not going to be getting up and doing anything crazy. And most of this you could even do in your bed. So you'll start on your back. And you can have your feet planted, arms by your sides. We're going to start with just some movements for the hands and arms. So you can take your hands up into the air here and just first take a little wiggle out through the fingers, maybe make fists and expand a few times. And we'll wake up the wrists, so starting to kind of flatten your hands, spread your palm open, and think of reaching your palm to the underside of your forearm. See how far you can go there. And then to get back up, think of now pressing your hands up toward the ceiling, letting the backs of your hands come towards the tops of your forearms. Do that just a few times, kind of making it a more fluid movement, seeing how far that wrist can bend. And then we'll just make a few circles here, so you can pick one direction, a few times around there, and then switch. Good, and then from here, you're gonna bend your elbows, bring your elbows that are just down by your sides, reach back up, and then take it maybe 30 degrees away from the body and back up, working our way out to about that 90-degree point, so elbows are right outside of shoulders. And then see if you can bring your arms up any higher, still letting those elbows hit the floor or bed, wherever you are, the bottom. Finding that reach, seeing how far you can take those elbows up overhead. And then we'll just kind of slowly work our way back down around. And then at the bottom, let your hands come out long by your body. And we'll just make some snow angels, so let your arms come all the way up. Maybe even see if you can connect your fingertips at the top, and then all the way back down. You can do this with your palms down, see how far you get, and palms up. Just kind of test those limits, taking it a few times, this controlled movement. Good, then we'll lift one leg up, so start with my right leg, interlacing the fingers behind the thigh just for a little support. As we start to wiggle into the toes, take that point and flex. So similar to the motion we did in the wrist, letting your toes curl back toward your shin, and then drawing your heel down. So just stretching the top of your foot, the front side of your ankle, a little bit of movement here, and then again, those circles in each direction. I'd say at least 3 times around each way, just to really kind of work out the kinks, to notice where things might be maybe a little crackly. Good, and then as you release that right leg, you're gonna practice just hugging your knee into your chest and then kicking to extend. So hug in and extend. We'll do that about 3 times just with the leg, building a little bit of strength into your hip flexor. And then add a hug with your hands so that we find a little more space on that squeeze, starting to relax the right leg as you physically give it a tug in. Good. Well, then take the leg back up here, so about a 90-degree bend in my knee. I'm gonna let that right knee drop open, so I'm externally rotating through the hip, and then kind of kick my leg out and circle back into the chest. Open, extend, come around. So just seeing if I can let that right leg drop a little bit closer to the floor. Finding a little bit more of that opening, not forcing anything here, just kind of seeing where that natural range of movement lands. Do that a few times. And then we can come back up, and you can even explore letting your right foot cross over to the left side for a few breaths. And then bring it back in, bend your knee, set it down. Let's try the left. So left side extends, fingers can interlace behind your hamstring for a little support. Start by wiggling the toes, and take that point and flex at the foot a few times. So really exploring those limits on either side, where you start to feel this through your foot, your ankle, into your shin, and then back around your calf, behind your knee, even into your hamstring. Lots going on here. And then we'll take those circles. You're drawing a big circle with your big toe in each direction. come into that unsupported hug, knee to chest. So building some of that strength and stability from the hip joint, hugging in at least 3 times. And then you can use your hands to help squeeze as that left leg relaxes. And a little more space, knee toward your chest. Getting into the hamstring and glutes a little bit more. And then arms can come back down, keeping that bend in your knee as we drop open to the side, kick forward, hug back in through center. So you may not notice that this side, my hip does a nice little pop along the way, but as long as we aren't in pain and that's kind of what you know to be typical for your body, it's really not doing any harm to find the movement. So we'll take one more here, opening up, letting the leg drop toward the floor, extend and hug back in. I'm gonna take my left foot back up in that flex, give it a little cross over to the right side, a few breaths here. And then bring it back in, bend the knee, drop your foot. You can take a few bridges from here if you'd like, pushing down through your feet, just curling to tuck the tailbone to lift, feel your low back, mid back, upper back rise, and then just roll back down top of the spine to the bottom. You take that a few times, exploring how high your body is ready to come up into that back bend. Keeping in mind that we're maybe just getting started with our movement for the day, so this might not be your biggest back bend ever. And then after the last one, hug your knees into your chest. We'll rock forward, coming up and around onto all fours, setting up for a little bit of movement in the spine, starting with our traditional cows and cats. So breathing in to sink your belly, pull your shoulders back, chest pulls forward as you look up, settling into the back bend. And then exhale, chin to chest, push your hands into the floor, tuck your tailbone under, making space across the back. Inhale to cow, and then exhale, round to cat. Take about 3 more of these here. And then maybe a little wiggle side to side. So just kind of shift the hips, shift the head, finding a little bit of curve in the spine. And if you want to wake up your feet a little bit more, you can tuck your toes under. Kind of just feel a little bit of a stretch on the undersides of your feet. If you want even more, maybe sitting back into that broken toe pose. That's a big, deep stretch. So notice here where you land. Maybe take just a few breaths till you hit that first little uncomfortable spot, and then you can give yourself a break. From here, we can take a few more shoulder rolls. Just that easy, natural movement. And then coming to a seat. You guys know I'm all about the neck stretches, so we'll get a few of those here. So you can take one arm around behind your back, dropping your ear now to the side of the shoulder where your hand is at. Just finding a little opening. And as you release that arm, you can roll through center, cross the opposite side, ear drops, opening up through the side of your neck, a few breaths. And then as you release, roll back through center and up, taking any other movements that feel good, maybe a quick peek over each shoulder. And then you should be ready to get going for your day. Thanks for coming today to this video, and I hope that you find it helpful.